Okay, this video is important. It's about what a permabulk is and why not to do it. Now, a permabulker is a permanent bulker. It's someone that has no self-confidence at all, so they want to always be big, they never want to be ripped. Now, you see a lot of guys heavier at the gym that are always bulking. That's what I mean. Now, I don't know if I have any famous examples other than Rich Piana, rest in peace. That's a good example of a permabulker, and it cost him his life, unfortunately, with all the drugs and synthol that he was doing, fast food, all that. So anyways, your body doesn't keep building muscle after a certain point, especially naturally. Once you hit your threshold to your frame, you stop putting on muscle and you just start putting on fat. So the problem with this is people will hit their threshold, and then they'll think that just eating more and more will make them put on more muscle, but that's wrong. It'll just put on fat and water. So when I bulked up, I was a permabulker for a while, a few years ago, and I bulked up to about 180. Now I'm just a little bit over 5'9", and it was great. And when I hit 180, that was the top that I could go for my frame naturally, so I should have cut. But instead of cutting, what I did is I decided to eat more and push it harder. So I actually got up to 220, but the extra 40 pounds was in fat. And everyone was, showing me respect at the gym because I was lifting crazy weights with my deadlift, my squat and everything. But at that point, I was basically becoming a power lifter and overweight rather than a bodybuilder. Now, you need the cut. The cut is absolutely necessary because it trains your body to burn fat and not muscle. After you bulk, what happens if you quit is the first thing you lose is the muscle, not the fat. And a lot of these permabulkers think that they're bulking up and they got crazy big muscles and then they can just quit. And what happens to these people is the muscle that they built depletes and the fat stays, so they end up having flabby arms, they have a big beer belly type gut, they end up with bitch tits, whether it's pure gyno or if it's just fatty tissue, not gland. It doesn't really matter, they'll have breasts, and the extra testosterone that was in their system, not necessarily from steroids, but just natural weightlifting in general, it boosts your testosterone levels, and when you get that big and then you quit cold turkey, all that extra testosterone will convert to estrogen in your body, and you'll start talking like this. You know what I mean? So that happened to me. I had a big gut after that. Cardio was just so torturous for me. I ended up getting a pelvic tilt. My posture was off, low back pain, and it's not a cool scene. And a lot of these guys end up, what they do is they bulk and they're bulking and they're bulking, and instead of doing what I did and just get fatter, they'll actually go on a cycle of testosterone, and the side effects are much worse then. Now when you go to maintenance or you quit cold turkey, or if you cycle off the steroids, now you will get pure gland of breast tissue. The estrogen conversion that I just talked about will be way more severe, to the point where you can't get an erection, to the point where you're depressed, you're just sitting at home all day. A lot of these people kill themselves. It's just straight up kill themselves. We see it in a lot of retired wrestlers from the WWE. There's that one French-Canadian wrestler a few years back that actually killed his wife and kids and then himself, and he was cycling off of steroids and getting older, and the depression and the estrogen started building up. So it's not a cool scene. Don't be a permabulker. If you want to do the bulk and cut route of bodybuilding as opposed to traditional just slow-paced clean bulk, the bulk and the cut can be good because it does teach muscle memory, and it does teach your body to burn fat and not muscle instead. So do it clean, do it slow, make sure you're lifting properly, and don't use any performance enhancing drugs because they will speed up any negative side effects of the weightlifting. If you're lifting wrong, for example, it'll really tear down your tendons, and it'll really screw up your posture if you're not doing proper core work. So that's my video on the Permabulk and why not to do it, and why those guys at the gym are going absolutely nowhere in bodybuilding. Like and subscribe.